fellow congregation members of the church,
It's another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield, and I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation, and you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And where is that, might you ask? Well, let me give you some simple directions. It's just down the street, past the house, with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop on the corner and talk to my man Joe. He will point you in the right direction. He's a man of commerce, and he's a gentleman. He will point you in the right direction. A few houses down the street, you'll take a right, and then an immediate left. And as you're strolling down the street, you'll pass a dark, dark alley to your right. As you pass it, you feel a cool breeze that chills you to the bone, to your skeletal core. Is it the autumn wind? You goddamn right. Should you venture down that deep, dark alley? Of course you should, because what you'll find at the end is a little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. And thank you for joining us, because every Tuesday on Raider Reaction is a little thing that we like to call the Raider Nation Report. Solid 60 minutes. with yours truly. Now, there's a lot to talk about. We are a week out. Less than a week out. 6 days. 6 nights. Basically, right now, 6 days from now, we are going to be so ingrained and knee-deep in Raider football that it'll be coursing from our veins, spewing silver and black from every orifice of our body. You won't even be able to contain it. It will be percolating, bubbling at this time, 6 days from now. You know you're all going to be just as hyped as I am. This is what we've waited a calendar year for. Is that moment right before the season starts when the story has yet to even have the slightest little bit of ink put to paper. The story hasn't even begun to be written. It's a fresh piece of paper, and you're just there holding the pen. Nothing's even written. Nah, Kevin, we put that to bed last night. That shit's buried. 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 He ain't on the team. We don't talk about that shit. We don't play that garbage-ass team anyway. So, if they ain't on our schedule, we ain't worried about them. We damn sure ain't playing their ass in the Super Bowl. There ain't no Trubisky taking nobody nowhere. So, moving on. That's as much as we'll waste on that fucking sorry-ass topic. Now, I want to jump right in. How's our story going to turn out? We don't know yet, Lines. We don't know. Every season, you've all heard my theory before, and if you haven't, I'm going to bore your ass. Every season is a story. One singular story. Everything else is just a chapter, a paragraph, a brief little story inside a story, a brief little story inside a chapter of the grand story. When you talk about 1985, what do you talk about? You don't talk about anybody else. You don't talk about how the Lions did that year or how the Redskins did. We don't even talk about how the Raiders did in 1985. What do you talk about? The Bears. When you talk about 72, what do you talk about? The undefeated Dolphins. They're the story of that season. When you talk about, we've had our years. We've had 3. Those were our stories. The first time when we got the monkey off the back and got the first one with John Madden. The second one, we come back and we make it in as one of the first wild card teams and win it all. With a backup quarterback that everybody had forgotten about. A former number 1 draft pick. That was our story. The LA Raiders. The team that was moved by the Maverick. That was that story. There's been other teams, but it always comes down to one America's Game, one NFL Films, where you get music set to it, and you watch it for an hour, and it's an hour special. The entire season gets wrapped up into one of those. It's what it is every year. And right now, we're 6 days away from a blank canvas of a brand new season. And the story is yet to be written. Is the story the return of Chucky? That molds the young gun quarterback. That brings the Raiders back to greatness. That puts together a defense of completely new players from top to bottom. That looks nothing like the defense of last season. You can barely even call that the same team, and we will get into that later. But first, I want to start off and make a point. Right out of the gate, I want to make a point about rankings. Preseason and during the season, power rankings. I want to come right out and make a point. The season hasn't even started yet. Alright? We just finished, every team finished 4 weeks of preseason. Coming into last week in ESPN, the Raiders were ranked 19th. Currently ranked 18th. Now, mind you, what just happened between last week and this week, Raider Nation? Oh, nothing. We just lost, one of the NFL's premier fucking athletes. No biggie, just a former defensive player of the year. We're not going to name his name because we're not naming his name here no more. But, nothing happened. We obviously didn't get better. Okay? We didn't get better by him leaving. Regardless of what you think about him leaving, we didn't get better. You can't make that argument unless you're a goddamn drooling retard. You can't make that argument. So obviously, we had to have gotten worse. Well, ESPN has us moving up a ranking after losing Khalil Mack. CBS Sports has our current ranking dropping 4 spots from 14th to 18th. NFL.com has our ranking dropping from 20th to 24th, dropping 4 spots. Bleacher Report has us dropping from 22nd to 25th. USA Today, actually, Yahoo Sports has us dropping from 19th to 25th. And USA Today, get this shit, has us, our previous ranking of 26, now has us ranked at 16th. So we moved up 10 spots in the power rankings of USA Today by trading Khalil Mack. Now I'm just going to let that sink in for a minute. ESPN moved us from 18th to 19th, and USA Today moved us from 16th, from 26th to 16th. We got that much better by trading Khalil Mack? Who the fuck's putting this shit together? Are you kidding me? How is that even possible? What kind of new math are you using? I mean, I've seen the shit my kids bring home. I can't do half that shit. He's in middle school, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Trigonometry? Good Lord. Trust me, you're never going to need to know that shit. But that's just a slice when you put it all together of what the rankings look like. So when you hear some jackass at work tell you, hey man, I see the Raiders are ranked they're ranked 31st out of all 32 teams. Be like, dude, seriously, come on. Let me take you and show you this ranking. Let me just show you this. You're a douchebag ranking that says your ranking don't mean shit. I'll show you that ranking, pal. Because that doesn't mean nothing. It's some stupid ass intern. They're like, hey, Joey, man, we got this fillers. We got an open block on the website. Can you throw together the ranking for the week? Just mix it up a little. It can't be the same. Just mix it up a little. We'll run it. Shit. Nobody looks at that shit. That's how much thought's put into that crap. So, I guess we got to take it with a little grain of salt. But I was looking all over that today, and I seen that when I was checking out the rankings, and I just had to point that out because I always hear somebody bringing up the rankings, and the rankings mean shit. It really means nothing. Now, moving on from that, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that, but I would like to thank our sponsors, our official sponsors, Angry at Trask's podcast, Just Win Ladies. Check it out wherever podcasts can be found, as well as shared on the Raider Reaction page. Our official sponsor, Raider Nation Rings and Flags Facebook page. Check it out. They got a ton of Raider swag on there. You cannot go wrong. They got prizes. They got games, giveaways, all kinds of shit going on over there. Check it out. And Captain Jack Rackham's Facebook page featuring a Sunday night show, Ask the Captain, where he will take all of your calls. Talk about your love life. You lost your dog. Kids failing algebra. He'll talk about all of that. Tell him the Commish sent you. Now, let's get to our quarterbacks, shall we? Quarterbacks, as in dose, because we only got 2 now. That was a biggest shocker to me as anything.
Oh, yeah.
That was a serious shocker to me to see that we cut both backup quarterbacks that were all the way through all of camp, training camp, preseason, OTAs, everything. I mean, guys that were from the last season, guys that you would think had a little comfortability with. At least one of them. Now, I'm not shocked that we parted ways with our backup quarterbacks. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh man, these guys they're amazing. No, neither one of them were amazing. Connor Cook looked good in game 1 against some garbage, and then looked like shit the rest of the time. EJ Manuel looked like shit, and then looked okay the last go round. They both had sparks of shit and gold through the preseason. And, you can't have that. I mean, that's nothing you can really work with. But considering typically you carry 3, I would have thought you'd get rid of the lesser of the 2, keep one of them, and then maybe go out and explore somebody else. Maybe make the AJ McCarron move. But to cut both of them and just bring in a guy like off the street, with another team, be like, all right, we're going to go out here, and if, knock on wood, God forbid something goes out and it happens to Carr in Series 1, we're going to just give it to this guy who's not even thrown hardly a ball 1 to anybody on the goddamn team? Doesn't that just seem a little concerning? Just a little concerning? That's the only thing that I thought of. Not that I am not opposed at all to the thought of, I'm not even opposed to the thought of AJ McCarron as being a solid, serviceable backup quarterback. But the fact that you just didn't retain anybody that you just went through the entire preseason with, wouldn't you have thought you would have made a move on one of those guys somewhere through that process and brought somebody else in and got some snaps with him with the rest of your team? Instead of just AJ McCarron was, he was Coop's college quarterback. They used to do keg stands together. Hell, let's bring him in. I guess. I mean, other than that, what familiarity does he have with the rest of the offense? None. So, we'll see. I mean, obviously, Derek Carr has been on the cusp of 4,000 yards pretty much his entire career with the Raiders. 3,270 in year 1. 3,987 in year 2. I mean, so damn close to hitting 4,000, it's sickening. And then in 16, gets 3,937. If he doesn't go down in the second to last week, he easily gets 4,000 yards. He didn't even need barely over 60 to get it. And then last year, 3,496 with that atrocious-ass offense with, an ungodly, with Downey's terrible-ass offensive coordinator duty. Ugh. This shit was hot garbage. But Carr has been solid. His stats are good. 103 touchdowns, 44 interceptions, 61.3% completion percentage. He's solid. Now, when you look at AJ McCarron's statistics, Bengal, a little bit of action with the Bills, nothing really. It was a stop in there. They gave him a jersey. That's about it. But with the Bengals, he only started 3 games in 2015. He did see action in 7 games that season. Saw action in 1 game in 16, 3 games in 2017. So he's seen a little action. He's got thrown 6 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Both of those were in 2015 when he had his most action. He's 64.7% completion percentage. He's statistically, he's been above average. He hasn't looked bad enough that you would want to give up on him yet. So can he carry a clipboard and step in if a man goes down? I don't see why not. I'd like to see him have some more time, which I'm sure he's getting now, since there's no other quarterback on the freaking roster besides Carr and McCarron. You know that he's getting a ton. He's getting a ton of reps because ain't nobody else getting them. Now, talking about the quarterbacks, and of course you can't forget AJ McCarron's got, a smoking hot wife, Catherine Webb, that Brent Musburger pointed out to all of us, at the in a historically creepy fashion on live TV. Brent Musburger's does several creepy things over. And now, yes, segue into, I don't even need to tell you. Yeah, he's associated with us now. Isn't that lovely? Oh, you son of a bitch, Hot Neil. There you go. You let the little bastard out. You let him out. God damn it. Now he's going to be a fucking pest the rest of the show. God damn it, Hot Neil. Way to go. Way to go. Fucking Stevel Juice. This is what happens when the Eagles win the Super Bowl. Now, speaking of that, it's been a minute since our little voodoo doll has made his appearance. And I'm feeling we need to jab his ass again here before too long, because the season is upon us. And they definitely need some bad juju. Do you not agree? I mean, we got one to the heart already, one to the throwing shoulder, one to the ear hole. What's next? I'm going to let you call it. You call it, Raider Nation. Let's stick his ass just for fun. Oh, the groin. Bobby's ruthless. Right in the sack. Oh, you guys are brutal. You guys are brutal. Oh, right in the knee. A little knee action there for our little Eagles voodoo doll. There will be no repeat, and we're going to do everything in our goddamn power to make sure that doesn't happen. Even if it takes just a little bit of the wicked voodoo magic. We'll do whatever we got to do. Now, speaking of quarterbacks, how do you feel, Raider Nation? How do you feel about having a rookie guarding your blind side? Now, a rookie, mind you, that hasn't looked really, really stellar in preseason. He hasn't looked bad, but he hasn't looked like, ooh, stand me up from my seat. Look at that guy pushing people around. No, it hasn't been all of that in preseason. And you got your guy who's on the left, now coming off serious foot issues, on the right. Is that not a concern for you? Because that's a concern for me. I'm not worried about the middle of our line. Hudson, Osenley, and Gabe Jackson are freaking all world. Hey, Oscar, you must be lost. Why don't you turn around and go back the same way you came? Only douchebags wear yellow and green. Now, How do you feel about that? On the ends, the guys that are going to be just playing the edge rushers. You seen what happened when Donald Penn got, snow plowed backwards. After a beautiful drive all the way down there to the 5, gets snow plowed, trucked backwards. You saw what happened. Thank you, Hot Neil. See what you guys have done. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. Now, it concerns me. I'm a little worried about it on the edge. I'm not gonna lie. I watched every freaking snap of preseason. I watched every snap much more in depthly than most average folks watched every snap of preseason. I'm willing to put money on that. That I spent more time watching preseason than the average person did. I watched every single snap. I watched it all with you guys, and then I watched it all again to prep for the show. Every snap of every preseason game. And Colton Miller, at no point did he ever look terrible, but he never gave me that wow or that real comfort feeling that when you got the number one defensive team going against you with their number one scheme, their game plan, their blitzing, their stunting. I'm worried. But I got faith in the kid, man. I got faith in the kid. And I'm hoping he shows up. But it's a concern that I don't feel is being talked about enough. And that's what we got going on the ends, man. Our left and our right tackle situation. I mean, because if Colton Miller fails, then you got David Sharp behind him. You know, do you consider bringing Penn back over to the left, and then now you've got this crazy rotation going on where you don't know who belongs where, and that just starts to now you're switching shit up all the time, and every week you just can't ever seem to get it right, and the running game suffers, and you don't want that. You want everybody to have a solid position. You get up there, that solid front 5, man, and you're moving bodies. And you're making things happen, and you're protecting the coach. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping. I hope, obviously. I mean, we all hope. But it's a concern of mine. That's a concern that I don't feel is being talked about enough. Now, the running back position. Interesting position. As Chris Warren III, who we all watched, we drooled over in pretty much most of the preseason. He was the feature back for the majority of the time. He looked like the guy they really, really wanted to see the most. They ran him. Apparently, they ran him so much he got injured. Did he get injured, or is he just conveniently injured? Odell, I'll tread there a little later. Now, it's convenient somehow how, was there a little backdoor, discussion? Hey man, listen, we're going to run you a lot. And if you show us what we got, show us what you got, we're going to give you a break. We're going to go ahead and sit you down for the first half of the season. We'll bring you in for the last half of the season. We're going to let you shine, and you're going to be our superstar when we get into the playoffs. That's we're going to work you in. That's what we're going to offer you. Oh, that'd be great. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to stash him. We're gonna see who Washington. I'm telling you, it's still a battle between Washington and Richard to see who's at 3. And whoever the odd man is, after 8 weeks, Chris Warren III is all of a sudden healthy and available on fresh legs. Oh, we forgot all about you. And here he comes. Mixed right in with Marshawn Lynch, Doug Martin, and who's ever left standing from Rashard Washington. There you go. There's your 4. Because I'd said all season they're only going to carry 4. And they did carry 4. How about a pat on the back for being right? I mean, I always get shit on every time I'm wrong, so goddamn, I gotta call attention when I'm right every once in a while. But I said they were only going to carry 4 on roster. And I knew that because previous history. That's typically how we roll. 1 fullback, but also kept Ryan Juracek, rookie fullback, on the practice squad. So we've got some depth at fullback sitting out there in case we need it, even though we've only technically got the 1 on roster in Kevin Smith. You're still going to see, I'm sure, a lot of single back. I'm sure you're still going to see a lot of lead blockers. Because what's interesting, if you look at the tight ends that were retained, I mean, just look at the offense and who was retained. You've got Jared Cook, who's obviously, he's your hybrid, your wide receiver, your Todd Christensen type, your Jimmy Graham type. He's that type of, he's your hybrid tight end. You can go out and play the somewhat of a wide receiver position. And then you got Lee Smith and Derek Carrier, who can catch the ball. What's up, Michael? Watching with us on YouTube. Streaming live, simulcast on YouTube, on Hardcore Challenge Live Studio webcasts, as well as on our Facebook page, Raider Reaction. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Hardcore Challenge Live Studio webcast, as well as follow us at Raider Reaction on Twitter and Raider_Reaction81 on Instagram. Because we're everywhere. We're painting the world silver and black this season. We're continuing our mission just like we did last season to bring you in-depth news, whatever. As much silver and black, everything. Purple drink? Somebody say purple drink? Purple drink? Purple drink? Goo-goo-ka-choo, goo-goo-ka-choo, I am the Jawalrus. Oh. It's so wrong, it's right. It's so damn wrong. It's right. Oh. But if you look at our offense, it's set up for that power game, man. You brought in Tom Cable. You brought in a system to run the line. You've got the power line that's built to push people for a power run game. You got Marshawn Lynch, who still averaged over 4 yards a carry last season, even not used properly in a terrible system. It's I'm telling you, the offense is set up for the type of offense that John Gruden has really been successful running. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And you got to have some faith. Now, wide receivers. Somebody touched on LaFell up there on our YouTube feed. And LaFell is a solid guy. Bringing in Martavius Bryant was obviously the trade we was hoping he was probably going to be the third. A deep threat, could stretch the field. Didn't turn out to obviously be that because, you know, I don't know if he had weed headaches and couldn't make it to practice or what the problem was, man. Bro, you got some weed headaches. You need to get some better shit, bro, because, I mean, an NFL player like stuff, you really shouldn't be getting weed headaches to make you miss practice. You should be really getting some top grade A shit, and that really shouldn't be a problem. So, just saying, you know, if your goddamn homies can't hook you up, missing practice because of friggin' headaches. You know, because when your head coach is asked, where's Martavius Bryant? He gives the reaction of like, he's laying up in his room, got a headache, hope he's out here tomorrow. You know, like, come on. You can't make it to practice because of headaches? Man, get your ass some Excedrin, some fast tabs. You know, shit. There's all kinds of stuff out there. It's 2018. Now, he got what, 2 passes in preseason. You know, he got the nickname the White Lion or the White Tiger, whatever the hell it was, White Tiger, I guess. So that was obviously probably some sort of, you know, on something, some sort of shot on something that had happened in camp. But he was never in favor. So you drop him, you end up getting rid of Johnny Holton, and we bring in Brandon LaFell. Keon Hatcher. Oh, Byron. Are you serious? Now you just get rid of that little thinky emoji right now. We don't even need no Des Bryant. We got rid of one Bryant. We don't need to bring another one back in. No, he's just like, fuck it. We can keep him the same. We ain't got to make him new jerseys. We can just stick his ass in the same number. Oh no, oh no. We done shipped out one Bryant. Let's take that name plaque off and leave it the hell off. We don't need that other. No, we don't need that. Oh man, that's giving me flashbacks to Randy Moss. Bringing him in. Man, I agree. Hell, call T.O. Shit, he's still out there trying out for the CFL, some goddamn Mexican league. Call his ass up. What the hell's he doing? Oh, no, no, no. No. Hell no. Hell no, we do not need Des Bryant. No. There's a reason. There's a reason. Nobody wants Des Bryant. The Jets don't want Des Bryant. The Bills don't want Des Bryant. The Bears. Any other number of shitty teams do not want Des Bryant. Hell, CFL ain't even calling his ass. Probably don't think he can play in the cold. Probably bitch about that. He bitch about everything else. That's why nobody wants him. Why? Well, you bitch all the time. Guess you're a bitch. Nobody wants you on sidelines. Woo. No, thank you on the Des Bryant. Now, jumping over to the defensive side of the ball. But I would like to... Let me pause for a moment, Raider Nation. First off, did you check out my fresh-ass new shirt? Is that not badass or what? That was sent to me by my brother from another Raider mother, Mr. Lyons. Thank you, my man. Awesome-ass t-shirt. I appreciate it immensely. So I had to rock it tonight because I just got it today. And awesome, awesome, awesome. But I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us, as always, on Raider Reaction. Without the Raider Nation stopping in with us, we would just be a bunch of schmucks here talking to the wall. We try to bring you everything that we can find you day to day that's silver and black related. Every freaking video, every bit of footage, every bit of anything silver and black. Now, of course, there's some bullshit mixed in there with you, but you guys, you're intelligent. So it's not our job to think for you. Because I would never think for you, because you're Raider Nation's an intelligent group. So we just put it out there. And you guys are smart enough to dig through the bullshit and say what's garbage is what's not. But you still should see the bullshit anyway. Because even if it is a bullshit story, you want to know about the bullshit story, right? Of course you do. Because you want to be like, oh yeah, man, I read that bullshit story. That's some bullshit. So you should still be educated, even when it's a bullshit story. Or some stupid... So that's why. Good, bad, or ugly, we put it up there. When we would, we're not going to censor it. You're an intelligent group. We allow you to think through. So we try to find everything that we can find. Of course, we try week to week. We try to find the memes of the opponents. Some are going to border on, might not be your taste. Some are. But some are going to be somebody else's taste. So that's why we cheat. It's a public page. And just bear with us. Our page is rated MA. One post might offend you. The next may not. Just smile at the ones that don't and ignore the ones that do. And move along. And have a nice day. Because life's too short to get pissed off over a split second of a post you can scroll by. Would like to thank our sponsors, Angry and Trash Podcast, Just Win Ladies. Check it out wherever podcasts can be found. Raider Nation Rings and Flags Facebook page. Check it out. They got all sorts of contests. They got crazy Raider swag over there. Great prices, and they're great guys. Check them out. And Captain Jack Rackham's Facebook page featuring the Sunday Night Ask the Captain show, where you can call in, get all your Raider rants, everything off your chest, talk about your old lady burning your dinner, whatever you need to talk about. Captain Jack will be there to hook you up and lend you an... Oh, somebody's gonna take me up on that. Tell them the Commish sent you. He never watches my show, so he's never gonna... He'll never know. Oh, that's hilarious. So, looking at the defensive side of the ball. No, we're not talking about that anymore. I appreciate you, Aaron, bringing it up. But no, we've listen, man. That's, bro. We buried it. It's in the dirt. We put it to bed. We spent more time talking about that fool. No more. I laid it out Saturday mornings, minutes after I heard, and we talked about it yesterday, and we buried it. We're done with that topic. He's not on the team. He ain't even in our conference. Done. He's done. Scratched. No need to spend any time talking about him, because we got a new defense. And when I say a new defense, Raider Nation, I don't think you understand how new of a defense we have until you sit back and look at it. Our front four. 2 out of the 4 are new. Tank Carradine. PJ Hall. Then you got Justin Ellis and Bruce Irvin. Of course, Mo Hurst. A to the motherfucking K. Arden Key. Number 99. He's going to fit in that mix. Those two are going to be big. You got Frosty Rucker. Don't forget about Frosty. We just picked up Brian Price and Fadal Brown. But your starters, 2 out of the 4 new up front. Your linebackers, Lamore, Johnson, Whitehead, all new. All three. Corners, Conley, new. Rashawn Melvin, new. Carl Joseph, still relatively new. I mean, he's been back there at safety, obviously, but he's been banged up and still somewhat unproven, but not new. Marcus Gilchrist, new. So, the majority, all of our starting linebackers, our corners, one of our safeties, and half of our starting front 4. All new. New defensive coordinator, new scheme, new position coaches, new everything. So I'm getting sick and fucking tired of hearing Raider Nation crying about how our defense is going to suck, how this defense can't survive without Khalil Mack. You know what? You have no fucking idea what this defense can do. You know why? Because you've never seen this defense play a goddamn snap yet. Not one. You haven't seen this team play one snap. Assembled as a defensive team playing the number 1 defensive scheme that they've been working on. You haven't seen this team. You haven't seen these corners play together with these safeties. You haven't seen these linebackers play as a unit. You haven't seen it. Why? Because they've never played together before. So how can you lump this defense in with every other defense that you've seen from years prior? Because it's not the same defense. The Bengals were what the Bengals were because the Bengals typically pissed down their legs and couldn't score points in the playoffs. But the Bengals always were getting to the playoffs because they had Paul Guenther's defense getting them there. That's the truth. Guenther's scheme and defense made Vontaze Burfict look like a freaking animal. I mean, he is an animal, but no, It made him look like a Mike Singletary type animal. It can take a good linebacker in that system and make them look great. That's what he could possibly do to Derek Johnson. Now, Derek Johnson is interesting because here's a guy who comes to the league in 2005, plays all the way through 2017 as a freaking chief. A chief. Now, what makes you, after all that time, as a division rival, want to jump and now become the heart and soul of a defense for a bitter rival? That's just interesting. It's just interesting to me. What makes, of all the teams out there you could have went to? Well, I know it's why, Greg, but what of all the teams, why would you would think the Raiders would be at the bottom of his list? Or is it just because maybe nobody else called? Maybe it's because John Gruden and his love of having veterans sprinkled about his team, he was his only shot. Maybe he sees that for just 1 year, he could be that mentor in the middle. He could be that guy. Maybe. Maybe. But you got to look at this defense. This is a totally new defense. It's not the same defense. This defense could... There's talent spread around this defense, and with the proper scheme, the proper team defensive scheme, this could be a top 10 defense. They have the talent. I'm still excited. Did you see the backflip from Garyon Conley on the practice field the other day? The video of that is impressive. Shows you how healthy he is, how healthy his legs are. At least that, he can pull off amazing moves that I could never do in a million years. He's ready to go. Finally. Finally. And I still believe that by week 4, this kid's our number 1 corner. Solid and proves it. So if you get some shutdown action on corner, you get good safety play. Your linebackers are moving around. You start to get some push from the young guys up north and up in the front. Why can't there? Why can't there be change? PJ Hall, Mo Hurst, Arden Key. You got those 3 up front? You're late, Eduardo. We already did the offensive side of the ball. You're going to have to rewind and go back and check it out. Now let's talk depth. That's where I was going, little man. Thank you for the segue. Now let's talk depth at our defensive backs. Rogers Cromartie brought in. He's a veteran corner. He's played, like Gruden said, pretty much every damn system there is. So he's just a guy that you can come in. He's a plug and play. He can play what you need him to play when you need him to play it in whatever set, whatever situation. You can plug him in. He's seen it all. Nothing's going to shock him. Nothing's going to rattle him. It's good to have. Leon Hall, also another veteran. You got backing up. Same thing. He's seen it. He's been there. And then behind them, you got Nick Nelson, who makes the team as a rookie. He's also going to be your backup punt returner and kick returner. So we've got some nice depth at... Oh! Listen. Choker fan. Let me introduce you to the kitty table. If you're sitting on here, take your ass to the corner, sit down, and shut the fuck up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The biggest douche of the universe. In all the galaxies, there's no bigger douche than you.
Later, Joker. All right. But now back to the defense. Now, at safety, we've got some solid depth at safety as well. Eric Harris, who showed out big, was one of the surprises in preseason. And then Reggie Nelson. Man, I saw Reggie get burnt a lot last season. But you know what? He's Paul Gunther loves him. He's from his system. He knows him from Cincinnati. And we'll see. We'll see. Somebody say Purple Drake? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I really thought the last I was going to see a Reggie Nelson on the field in a Raider uniform was last season. But apparently not. And he's going to hang around one more year. But I always had love for the Predator. So let's see if he can get it done. Way to go, Hot Neil. I left this in the hands of Raider Nation at the beginning of this, in the winter, man. Just don't say his name. That's it. Just don't say his name. Then I don't have to deal with him the rest of the night. You guys don't have to try and wrangle his little ass up every... Now everyone, I appreciate you joining me for the Raider Nation Report every Tuesday, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, a solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black with yours truly. Now I'd like to end everyone with a little segment that I like to call the WTF. Now, we're such a buzzed, and I even hate this word. I even want to punch myself in the eye for getting ready to say this word. But we are such a buzzed and triggered society now that you can't say, do anything, believe anything, take any sort of action, say anything, tweet anything, write anything, type anything, Instagram it, or anything a little on the edge without offending some fucking buddy. I offend somebody every fucking day on this page. In some way, shape, or form. Every day. Hell, somebody sent us a message today about our homophobic memes. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It was a Bruce Jenner meme. Like, get the fuck over yourself. So, it's impossible in our current society to not offend somebody. And everybody, every day, at least 2 or 3 times a week, you've got a different agenda and a different torch that you want to pick up and run with. Oh, I'm all against freaking drowning babies. Don't quit drowning babies. Well, of course, you know. Save the chickens. It's always something. You know, it's some stupid ass cause you're picking up and you're running with. You know, or some dumbass challenge where you're dancing next to your car, you're dumping some ice on your head. Something. So, today, the latest thing is, because obviously the big news of today in the sports world was Colin Kaepernick is now the new face of Nike. Just do it. You know, do whatever and, you know, sacrifice with the... I don't fucking know what the stupid slogan was. I don't really give a shit. Number one. And then as soon as it happens, I see all these guys burning their shit, cutting their Nike logos off, their shirts and their fucking hats and their socks, and I'm donating this to fucking Goodwill, and I'm going to do this and that, and I'm like, bro, Listen, Nike comes right out and tells you our target audience is 15 to 17-year-olds. As long as those 15 to 17-year-olds keep buying their overpriced t-shirts and paying for $150 for fucking shoes, they don't give a fuck what some 35 to 55-year-old guy thinks about their product. You're not in their demographic. They're not marketing to you. They don't give a fuck. So you're gonna go burn something that you paid for in order to get back at a major corporation. I seen jackasses on fucking Facebook getting third-degree burns today, just doing all cutting the shit off their socks. Like, you stupid motherfucker, you're gonna need those socks tomorrow. Now what are you gonna do? Those are the socks you wear to the gym, you stupid son of a bitch. And next week you're gonna be like, fuck man, now where's all my gym socks? You cut the fucking sides out of them. What the hell's wrong with you? Do you think Nike gives a fuck? Hell no. You already done bought that shit and paid for it already. So you just went and burnt your own shit up. Are you retarded? Did that solve anything? Seriously, it's just like the new fad. Yeah, exactly, Leslie. Go snort a fucking condom. It's about the same thing. Oh, this week, somebody's kneeling. I'm gonna burn something. God damn it. Now they put Kaepernick on a fucking poster. Bring me my socks, Myrtle. And some scissors. I'm not wearing Nike shit. Motherfucker, you know you ain't bought a Nike fucking thing the last 20 years. The old guy today that set his feet on fire is wearing some Nikes look like he wore in fucking gym class in fucking 1960. It was probably like the first Nikes ever fucking made. Come on, man. Your protest is lame. If you're gonna protest something, go protest something that's gonna make a fucking difference. Cause that ain't gonna make a difference in shit. You waste your time, you look like a jackass. What the fuck? Check out Angry and Trash Podcast. Just Win Ladies. Raider Nation Rings and Flag Facebook page. Check out Captain Jack Rackham's Facebook page and his show. Ask the Captain every Sunday night. Make sure you call in. Tell him the Commish sent you. Thank you as always, each and every single freaking one of you for joining me tonight and every single night, stopping at the page. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Every single one of you. Always do. Without you guys, we would be absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. New and old, our band of pirates. Thank you. I will be back tomorrow night. And man, we are about to go back to the roots tomorrow night. Back to the roots. My man, Prime, joins me. The man that started Ghost to the Post with me. Prime and the Commish. Tomorrow. Ghost to the Post. As we go through every single game and make our predictions for every single game for week 1. And we want you here to make your predictions with us. And we're going to see how good we do when next week comes around. So join us tomorrow. Prime and the Commish, Ghost to the Post. Until then, I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation!